Welcome to the 8th game of the Professional Women's Hockey League season from Mattamy Centre in Toronto, of course the hallowed halls of Maple Leaf Gardens, for this first Battle of Ontario. There is the Toronto team coming into the building. Of course, their opponents, Ottawa, who've had an 11-day layoff. They are just gearing to get going. And what a great fan base this Toronto team has established, as well as Ottawa, too. I'm Signa Butler, your ringside reporter for today's game at the Mattamy Athletic Centre. Both of these teams I mentioned, one has been busy, one not so much. Let's take a look at where Toronto was earlier this week, taking on Minnesota, who have been the class of the league. And speaking of class, how about Taylor Heisey in that game? She had two beautiful goals. That was the first of two. Sarah Nurse opened her account on the season with a tying goal in the second period. But it was Heisey again. You can see why she was the #1 overall draft pick in this year's PWHL draft. Look at that, those hands, and a 3-1 victory, 3-0 on the season, Minnesota is. As for Ottawa, they've been basically benched because of that delay on January 8th. They were supposed to play Boston. They played Montreal in their opener. Record-setting crowd, great energy. Montreal spoiled the party with a 3-2 overtime victory. So they are gearing to go after 11 days off. Along with myself, you'll be with two other members of our team, Daniela Ponticelli and Becky Keller. I'll send it up to them.
Thank you so much, Signa. Now, Toronto is 1-2 coming into this game, Becky. And one of the things is that they want to get that home win. They also want their first goal on home ice. That would be something nice for the fans as well. But head coach Troy Ryan telling me he has seen some of the best periods of PWHL hockey played by Toronto, but also some of the worst.
Well, and I think that's a story of this team so far, is the inconsistency. He's looking to replicate those good periods for 60 minutes. One of the things this team has to do, though, is get the puck off the wall and to the middle of the ice. Troy Ryan said this is not a team with an elite-level scorer. They've got to do it by committee, and that means they've got to get the puck to the middle of the ice, and they've got to get traffic to the net.
So looking for that first home goal, but it was Natalie Spooner who scored the first franchise goal, and she joined Signa before warm-ups.
Well, Natalie just streaked by me here, and I caught her. You've got the first goal in your team's franchise history, drafted by your home club. I wonder what this Battle of Ontario feels like for a local kid.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing just to be back here in front of the home crowd, to have my family here. You couldn't ask for anything more, and you know, to be able to play against Ottawa, I think it could be a good rivalry here. So we got it. We're gonna bring our A game today.
13 months ago, you gave birth to your son, Rory. A happy belated first birthday to him. You know, where are you in terms of your arc of your return in your game right now?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played that many games in the last 2 years, so trying to just build every game and keep improving through the season, really.
Enjoy yourself today.
Thank you so much.
Talked about Ottawa having a bit of a break, unscheduled, of course, due to bad weather, but Carla McLeod, the head coach, able to make the most of the time they were given.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't their plan to have that many days off, but she did make the most of it. You don't often get that opportunity to get that many practices in, especially early in a season like this. In fact, they spent an entire hour out of practice working just on changes, changing when they have the puck, changing when they don't have the puck. So to have that kind of time, she's taking that as a real positive.
And now our Signa Butler was able to catch up with Zoe Boyd before warm-ups.
Well, Zoe, at 23 years of age, you're one of the youngest players in the league. I'm wondering what you're learning from playing, you know, professional in the PWHL.
To be honest, it's been a dream come true. I've learned a ton. The older girls on our team have been amazing at just setting the culture. The leadership on and off the ice has been incredible, so I'm really lucky to learn from them.
I'm wondering, you're from Caledon East. You're playing for the nation's capital, though. What is this rivalry? Is there a rivalry yet against Toronto?
I think we'll see after today. It's going to be a really exciting game, and I have a good group of family here, so I'm super excited, and we're going to give our best, and they're going to bring their best, so we'll see how it goes.
Have fun out there.
Thank you so much.
And it is Zoe Boyd's defensive partner who's the Woody Creek Distillers player to watch.
Ashton Bell with 2 assists in the home opener for Ottawa. She was a key contributor to the offense. A player out of the Minnesota University of Minnesota Duluth. She didn't become a defenseman until her 3rd year. She's still learning the position, but Coach Carla McLeod says she's got great instincts, knows when to jump into the rush. And Renata Fast for Toronto, a standout player on Team Canada for a number of years. She's got the ability to skate the puck 200 feet down the ice, contributes to the offense. She put up 6 shots on goal in the game against Minnesota. Watch for her to be an offensive threat.
Now time for the game day rosters presented by Tim Hortons, and here's your starting lineup for Toronto.
Not a lot of changes for Toronto. The first 2 lines stay the same. A little bit of blending in the bottom ones, but the personnel is the same. Maud Labelle-Poulin is the one that is slated in. She did not play last game.
Now Ottawa's lineup will also feature a change, slight change, Becky, on the top line.
Yeah, just a slight change. You're going to see a change from forward to wing. Brianne Jenner's going to move to the middle, maybe give them a little bit more success inside the face-off dot. The rest of the lineup staying as is.
Well, up next, Toronto, Ottawa in the first Battle of Ontario. Toronto returns to a sold-out Mattamy Athletic Center for the first time since the league opener New Year's Day. They were shut out that day, looking not only for that home goal, but that first home win. Daniela Ponticelli alongside Becky Keller, and Emeris Mashmeyer will be in net for Ottawa. Her second start, she got the first in that overtime loss for the Ottawa home opener January 2nd, and in net for Toronto, she has the most starts of any PWHL goaltender. This is her 4th time in net. Kristen Campbell, 9 goals allowed, but she's made 79 saves. She'll be looking to tighten things up. She's allowed at least 2 in each game so far. Yeah, I think that's part of the story.
Absolutely an area that this team is going to want to tighten up is defensively. Like I said, getting to the middle and then preventing things from getting to the middle. And there's Brianne Jenner, captain of this Ottawa squad, and such an instrumental part of making this league happen. She's going to face off against one of her former teammates in Blair Turnbull. Not only Team Canada teammates, but the 2 of them played together in the CWHL, won a Clarkson Cup together in Calgary.
Lots of stories that cross paths between these 2 teams, and the first Battle of Ontario is underway. Toronto gets to host this first one, and it's just the 2nd game for Toronto, their 4th of the PWHL season. Had the honor of hosting that league opener all the way back on January 1st, Becky. Remember way back when.
Does seem like a long time ago. It really wasn't. This league, everything's happening fast.
Just like Turnbull, bringing it up quick, testing Emeris Mashmeyer early on here in the first period. Toronto has yet to have a lead early in a game, or be the first to lead in a game. Of course, they did get that first win in New York, able to play spoiler for New York's home opener. Now, Grant Mentis pulls in with a big shot. Campbell with the save. Into the corner they go. Malte getting her stick on it early. Terlova keeping it in for the point. Now Natalie Spooner, she's got that first goal in the history books for Toronto, but also for herself. First power play marker as well for the team. Now Emily Clark putting on some speed. She's got all kinds of room, looks for the feed. And Gabby Hughes was right there, but too much speed, and of course Toronto players able to swarm in. Natalie Spooner collects it from the center. The crowd behind her. Amanda Boulier pulls it away.
Love the cheers for Natalie Spooner. She's such a fan favorite.
Now Mrazova, she's already got a goal. First Czech-born player to score in the PWHL. Now again in the near corner, Akani Shiga in for Ottawa in white. Player from Team Japan. You can hear all of the action in the corner, and we speed back the other way. Zoe Boyd gets a bump, and now right in front, Hannah Miller just couldn't track it. She had the space. Samantha Kogan battling for it in blue. Again, Mrazova trying to create some space for Ottawa to get out of their own zone. Far side. Kept in by LaRocque. Now Daryl Watts. It's a homecoming for Toronto's Daryl Watts.
Well, that line was so dangerous last game, the third line with Daryl Watson. She's a offensive threat every time she gets the puck in tight.
Ashton Bell now collects it behind the net of Mashmeyer. Far side wall. Ottawa working at getting it out of their zone is Lexia Gia. Pulls in Zoe Boyd with the clear out. But just as fast, there's Gasparich. Toronto regains some control. Vasco over to Rougeau this time. Jinsey Rose is in the mix for Ottawa, trying to get some support from Terlova. Back again, battles Snodgrass now. Natalie Snodgrass for Ottawa. Sends it over to Agia Gasparich with a shot. That feed a little bit tight for Ottawa again, and that one in the glove of Campbell.
First puck that they were able to put on net, and this Toronto team has been awfully stingy through the neutral zone so far this game. They did give up a quick 2-on-1. Ottawa was not able to convert. See, Gasparich throws that puck out front, just trying to connect. Unfortunately, not able to get a stick on that. You know these two teams are going to try to play hard defensively, and it's that neutral zone that Toronto has done such a good job with so far.
Toronto able to win that defensive zone draw, which is a huge help, and Ottawa is working on their faceoffs. They were just 25% in their home opener.
Yeah, definitely an area Coach Carla McLeod said they want to improve. Obviously, 25% puts them at a real disadvantage all over the ice.
Savannah Harmon chasing it down, but it'll be whistled. A little bit of breathing space. Good pace, though, to start this game.
Yeah, and you've got one team that is very rested, Coach Carla McLeod's team. Of course, Coach McLeod with a couple Olympic gold medals herself. She's pretty happy today, despite the fact that she's in a Canadian Olympic team. She's been on the bench with Czechia and her U18 team. Just beat Canada out in the semifinals of the U18 Worlds.
So many U18 players in the mix today, right in front. Savannah Harmon was hoping for the feed. She was teed up stick side. But Turnbull bringing the action far wall. Now again a chance. Amanda Boulier bringing it close. Comfer hoping to clear it out for Toronto. Back on it is Clark. Monroe gets her stick. Michaela Grant-Mentis, though, for Ottawa. Right in the mix, too. Again, Clark keeps it in. And the play comes underway. Gabby Hughes in control. No go on the wraparound. Sarah Nurse far side. Quick little redirection. Toronto regrouping.
Ottawa giving them that opportunity, taking in the change, but another great shift by the Ottawa forwards. Grant-Mentis getting in on that forecheck.
Ashton Bell as well battling for the puck, comes away with it in the Ottawa zone. They are having to dig out deep, but Zoe Boyd tees it up, chips it down. Akani Shiga with the speed, flies by Campbell. Campbell nearly out of position, not quite, so back it goes. Renata Fast, as we know, loves to compete, wants to win every little battle. And Emma Malte chips it up, brings it back into the neutral zone for Ashton Bell. what a play by LaRocque. Loosens that puck for Toronto.
Natalie Spooner's eyes lit up on that turnover in the neutral zone, and then she overskated the puck.
That one, Maggie Connors sends it up, and Natalie Snodgrass will try to return it back. Ottawa able to save it from going deep into their own zone. Lexia Gia regrouping. Sends it down deep this time, back behind the net of Campbell.
Ottawa with a really good job at their bench to leave that puck. They were very close to a too many men on the ice. Good heads-up play.
Jinsey Rose feeds it to Agia through the neutral zone, but Miller and Poulin LaBelle will play it. Brittany Howard giving chase down deep in the Ottawa zone again. Speed from these teams as to be expected. Lots of familiarity, number of crossover players in terms of people who played on either U18 international teams together or at the senior level. Ottawa again trying to come out with collective speed from deep in their zone. Allie Monroe providing that defense for Toronto up to Willoughby. That does not connect. Instead, Ottawa takes it away on the center line. Callie Flanagan protecting, and there's a shot. Becca Gilmore firing that one just wide. Back into the end boards now. Allie Monroe in blue. Hannah Miller will clear it out.
Ottawa certainly with the most zone time right now, but neither team has really been able to generate any quality opportunities. Of course, there's head coach of Toronto, Troy Ryan, also the coach of Team Canada through 2026. He's hoping to get more consistency from his team, like we talked about. He's seen some really good things from them, but it's a real feeling out process in this young season.
Had some tough discussions, he said, after that Minnesota loss. Here comes Grant Mentis in front. She slides on that one, does manage to get a shot up towards the net. Near side, Clark with speed, tees it up, and Hughes hungry for that tip in. Harmon from the blue line, though. Gabby Hughes again finds the puck on her stick. Callie Flanagan flies it down, goes off to the bench, and Caitlin Willoughby in blue will chase it down. Gabby Hughes doing all the work. A wayward stick up in the air, that belonging to Renata Fast.
Looked like a fan might have a gift. I wasn't so sure that one wasn't going out of play.
Yeah, that one came from the ice and landed on the ice. In fact, it's near where the players are skating right now. The battle continues. Captain Brianne Jenner getting into play, but here comes Leslie looking to fire that. Ottawa, great team play to keep the puck away from Emma and Smashmeyer. Brianne Jenner getting hungry around the net. Becca Gilmore there too. Right now being worked by Haley Scamora, who opened up scoring for Ottawa in the home opener. Jinsey Rose, far side, back to Scamora, tees it up. Big stop by Campbell, and the rebound to the far side. Rose, along the blue line, finds Terlova. And Emma Malte, and will be whistled down. There will be a penalty coming. And still scoreless in Toronto in this Battle of Ontario. There they're going to test early. Of course, Haley Scamora able to get that, but Blair Turnbull shorthanded, drives the play. Just a tough chance there, but she was all teed up in that Turnbull style, and she'll lay the physical play. It'll cost her, though.
Wow, Blair Turnbull, what a shift. She comes down the ice, has a great scoring chance, but then turns around and takes this penalty. And there's really no doubt about this one. The stick gets up. And you can see Turnbull recovers this loose puck, cuts in. I love this quick cutback to give herself the space. Can't get the shot past Jinsey Rose. And then this collision and her stick gets up as she makes that hit. What a hit. But she's going to go to the box for that.
The PWHL is about playing physical and skilled. That will be a costly penalty. So now 5-on-3 for Ottawa. Right now, Toronto is perfect on the penalty kill through their 3 games into this one. So Ottawa's Katarina Mrazova sends it to Rose. Got all kinds of space. Daryl Watts, high slot. She can't get the shot off. Rose scoops it in. Malte right there for Toronto. And Jinsey Rose tees it again, that one. Up and over. As Toronto comes in, they're close. She covers it up. It's still good! Ottawa scores! There, the crowd, the Ottawa crowd in Toronto, praising that goal by Katarina Mrazova, her second of the season.
Well, she's allowed to walk right in for that shot, and then Mrazova's on the back door. It looked like Campbell had the puck in her. You can see her come out to the tops of the crease, make that save. Looks like she has the puck. Mrazova is battling off the back door, as well as Agia, and they're able to win that puck, put it in the net to open the scoring here in Toronto.
Gritty work by Lexi Agia on that as well. So Ottawa on the board first.
And still on a power play for a minute 19.
Still on a power play, that's right. It was a 5-on-3 situation. That'll knock off Toronto's perfect penalty kill rating. Toronto is the only team still in the league that has scored a shorthanded goal. Get out of jail free card, so to speak, but Savannah Harmon now flying through the zone, teeing it up for Gabby Hughes. Rougeau gets her stick on it. Comfer back out on the ice. Taking that first penalty, Grant Mentis feeds it through to Harmon. Harmon takes it all the way back in front. And Ottawa again able to bring the action right to Campbell. Grant Mentis to Boulier, pulls up and she scores! Gabby Hughes makes it 2-0 Ottawa.
On Ottawa really making Toronto pay for those penalties. What a power play that was. This really starts with Savannah Harmon and her entry into the zone. Good patience. Looks like she might reverse the puck up the boards. Recognizes it's not open and keeps it. Hits Grant Mentis in front for the first opportunity, and then they just keep banging away. Grant Mentis, who has been a threat. Ottawa able to recover that puck and just find players open. It's that net run presence. Again, they have really battled to get into that position and not just have one player in the crease, but 2.
Gabby Hughes' first goal in the Professional Women's Hockey League comes on a power play. So 2 power play markers back-to-back for Ottawa. Coming out fast, and again bringing the action into the Toronto zone. Toronto yet to score on home ice. Here comes Sarah Nurse. She's got Fast and Comfer out with her as well. Captain Turnbull. Comfer again finds it in the corner. Toronto looking to respond here in the first period. After a quick 1-2 punch from Ottawa. Started with Mrazova, helped by Agia and Jinsey Rose. Now Aneta Terlova.
It's a nice little move at the blue line to give herself space and regroup that puck.
Snodgrass out on the line as well for Ottawa. Renata Fast just cutting in. Trying to get that puck cleared out for Toronto. Comfort feeds it over to Leslie. Those two are best friends, and I bet dialed in didn't even need to look for that pass.
Amazing what chemistry can do when you playing with someone that you really can talk to and get along with.
Gamble sends it to Flanagan. Flanagan now over to Willoughby. Caitlin Willoughby digging along the near wall. Here comes Rebecca Leslie with room. She shoots, and it's stopped by Mashmeyer. Rebound collected right behind the net. Emerance Mashmeyer.
Rebecca Leslie was looking for that spot up above the glove and just couldn't quite hit it.
Shots on goal, at least according to the in-house feed, favoring Ottawa 8-1. Emma Malte looking to change things here for Toronto. She'll carry the puck herself. Trying to find that pass to Connors. A bit wide. Spooner now. She can't get the shot off Ottawa again. Clogging up the slot. Carrying it out through the neutral zone. Boyd works around Bell. Shoots wide. Grant Mentis there. Hughes up to Bell. Hughes already with a goal in the game. Spooner chips it up. Toronto back in their own zone. Natalie Spooner with some speed. She'll feed it through. Outside, inside, all kinds of room trying to find Nurse on that pass.
We're going to see another penalty here, and Ottawa doing a good job through the neutral zone, really smothering Toronto, making their entry so difficult.
And so the power plays continue, but Ottawa up 2-0 in Toronto. Signa Butler is between the benches with Katarina Mrazova.
Katarina, that's goal number 2 for you on this season, but the first road goal for the team. How important was that to get that first goal today?
I think it's always so important to keep the shooting mentality, and then if we can get first on the board, I think it's really good for us and keep the energy high. And we got a second goal right away, which I think is very important now. We just have to focus and finish the period really strong.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Katarina Mrazova with her second goal of the season. That open scoring here.
Maybe a player that's really establishing herself as a backdoor. She gets in, and that's how she scored both of her goals so far.
Now Toronto is on the power play as we went to break. Emily Clark of Ottawa taking a seat in the penalty box on a tripping call. So a chance here for Toronto to maybe get on the board on the power play. It's how they open scoring for the franchise. Spooner got that goal. She's getting teed up. She's got fast and Connors as well. Spooner likes to play net front. That's where she's at right now. Connors circles back. Quick pass to Turnbull. For Spooner, she shoots! And it's sent over to the other side by Mashmeyer. Fast. Now to Nurse. Quick passes. Maggie Connors scoops it up. Regains control. Nurse back to Fast. Getting all kinds of defensive work from Haley Scamora, clogging up that slot for Ottawa. Now fast again. Toronto on the power play, their first of the game. Still looking for that first home goal. Connors from the point. Sends it over to Brittany Howard. Back behind Jessie Comfer. She's just got to get by Jinsey Rose. Howard again, tees it up for Flanagan from the blue line. Looking for LaRocque. Could there be some space? She's got Comfer in front of the net. Toronto with some sustained possession, but few shots off here. Now again, LaRocque. She feeds it to Malte. Malte trying to find some space. And Comfer in front. Another quick stop deflected by Mashmeyer. Comfer again. She comes in close. Wraps it around. Jinsey Rose right there for Ottawa. Howard tries to collect the loose puck. Time is ticking. We're back to even strength for both sides.
Toronto doing a really good job to get in and get set up, but they're not generating any scoring chances. And this is what Coach Troy Ryan was talking about. He wants them to start putting pucks on net, get a shot mentality on the power play.
LaRocque keeps it in on the blue line, extends that stick. Malte getting in there, known for being difficult to play against. But Ottawa feeling confident after that penalty kill.
Emily Clark just getting out onto the ice. Just in enough time to make that an icing. These players are going to have to stay. They got a tired crew out here. A couple of Ottawa players did not get off the ice, and this is the one good scoring chance they generated, and they just aren't able to put it on the ice. Comfer just misses that puck. It goes off the side, and again, some really good possession, but it's finding your way around the block. Of course, Ottawa did a good job of getting in shot lane, making their life difficult.
Alexa Vespa rather, wins that. And we're off to break. 2-0 lead for Ottawa. .1% in the face-off circle coming into this game. Unable to win it in the offensive zone, at least not cleanly, as Ottawa sends it around to clear it out. Akani to Mazova. And there's a turnover. LaRocque feeds it to Leslie. But Amanda Beaulier just gets in there for Ottawa, disrupts that scoring chance. Savannah Harmon now back behind for Ottawa. two big-time defenders in this league, Harmon and LaRock.
LaRock, no problem jumping into the offense, and she battles down low. She does not like to lose a battle.
Rebecca Leslie looks for it. Now there's a shot fast. Hoping to at least create something for Turnbull right in front of the net.
Renata fast again with those good instincts to jump in and gets that shot away.
And LaRock, far side wall for Toronto. There's Nurse. She feeds it to Comfer and through a number of legs there. Managed to get down deep behind the net of Mashmeyer. Mashmeyer with 3 saves so far in the game. Toronto's Campbell with 8 so far, 8 saves. Facing 10 shots in this first period. Stretching the ice, Ottawa was trying to get it to Michaela Grant-Mentis. But Captain Turnbull looking to turn the tide as Comfer can't keep it in control, and Ottawa will regroup back behind Mashmeyer.
And that was a great defensive play by Blair Turnbull. It looked like Ottawa maybe off to the races again. Grant-Mentis jumping through the middle of the ice, and Turnbull negates that opportunity.
Rougeau chips it in for Toronto. And Ottawa's 2 goals coming so quickly, back-to-back, both power play markers. Started with a 5-on-3. And now Lexi Agia, she was teeing it up. She's got 2 assists now on the season after helping on that first goal of the game. Fanny Gasparic getting into the mix, coming up on Spooner. That was a tough pass for Maude Poulin LaBelle. Far side, Jinsey Rose. Looking for a centering feed fast. Scoops it up, keeps it in play. Along the end boards, rushing to meet it. Samantha Kogan back to fast. Kogan now. Chasing the puck down, loose along the near wall. Becca Gilmore rather. Pushing that energy, Captain Brianne Jenner has some room. She's got Scamora there. Gilmore tees it up, and it almost like it never left the stick. Back around, Renata Fast now. Hoping to change the momentum for Toronto. LaRock coming up on Scamora. Now Samantha Kogan with the pass. Looks for Hannah Miller. Brittany Howard's in front too. Mashmeyer makes the save. Puck gets sent center, and final minute of play in this first period. Ottawa with a 2-0 lead on Toronto's home turf. Howard looking to tee it up. Zoe Boyd. She'll feed it through to her partner on the ice. Ashton Bell. Rebecca Leslie, though, coming right off the bench and into action. Callie Flanagan fires it down. Now Vasco, she's got a goal for Toronto already in the season. Still looking to score at home is Toronto. And now Daryl Watts with all kinds of room. She scores! Ottawa up 3-0. And Daryl Watts collects her goal in her hometown.
Daryl Watts, we've talked about how dangerous she is. She comes in, her stick's in the middle of the ice. She's on her offside, and she's got that quick release shot. Keeps it on the ice, too. This is nice and low. If this save is made, she's going to have a second opportunity. Looks like maybe she's shooting for the far pad and happens to be able to beat the goaltender in Campbell. What a great shot. So deceptive.
Daryl Watts, first goal in the PWHL, first point. It's got to feel good to be able to do it at home in Toronto.
At home, front of your home crowd. She played for the Toronto Six last year as well.
So Ottawa with a fast lead in this game, coming out strong, 3-0 as the clock winds down here on this opening frame, back in the Toronto zone. Forced into the end boards, and that's where the whistles will blow. Frustrating first period for Toronto, but Ottawa turns out that little break, not so bad, coming out 3-0 We'll be back with more in the first intermission in this Battle of Ontario.
Well, what a great period for Ottawa. Exactly what they wanted. A little bit of frustration on the part of Toronto. You saw it at the end there. A few aggressive negotiations in the corner. But if you're Toronto, the good news is you've got a lot of time. They know they've had some strong periods. They can do it again.
And up next, we will head to break as the players head to the locker room, and Toronto still looking for their first home goal in the PWHL. And we go down ringside. Signa Butler is with Gabby Hughes.
Well, Gabby, that was a pretty prolific first period for your team. Obviously, your second goal, the insurance marker. How important was that to come out on the front foot, especially since you've been off for 11 days?
Yeah, it was very important. I think having those days off gave us a lot of time to rest, but also made us really hungry to come out and play a game, and it showed in the first period.
No, speaking of those 11 days off, it also gave your team, an opportunity to build, team bonding, etc., but also maybe to work on other parts of your game, like the power play. Yep. How was that clicking for you tonight?
Yeah, it's been great. We got a 5-on-3 and then capitalized on that opportunity, and then again. So using our time off, it's paid off. So
appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
Ottawa up 3-0 after 20 minutes in this Battle of Ontario, the first ever in the PWHL. We'll be back with more after this.
Welcome back inside the Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. It is a 3-0 game in favor of Ottawa's PWHL team. So a great start for them. No kidding, it was 11 days they had off between games. Their first game of the season in Ottawa, record-setting crowd. A 3-2 loss to Montreal in overtime, and they've been just chomping at the bit to get going here. And, well, it showed today, a 3-0 lead right now. I had a chance earlier to talk to former PHF MVP Michaela Grant-Mentis. Just getting to know her and her story. Here's more from her. Michaela, let's just take you back to the opening game for Ottawa and that exciting moment in the second period halfway through. You appear to score the first goal in Ottawa PHL history. You know, what did it feel like? I know it didn't count, but what did that feel like to have the fans generate that much energy for that apparent goal?
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Honestly, I couldn't even hear anything. I couldn't even hear my goal song because they were so loud, and they continued cheering throughout the whole time the refs were deliberating and everything. So it was kind of surreal and a great moment, but kind of sucks that it didn't count, but that's okay.
There's more to come. It was a nice move. It was a nice move. What was the goal song, by the way?
Dog Days. I don't even know who sings it, but I just like the song.
Florence the Machine, you got it. Okay, second game, obviously going ahead against Toronto today. You know, you went through the draft, weren't drafted, but you got a bunch of phone calls afterwards. What was it about Ottawa that made you decide that that's where you wanted to pick up your professional career?
Yeah, I really liked what Mike and Carla were building in Ottawa, and then obviously I had a bunch of friends that were drafted to Ottawa, so it kind of was an easy choice for me. My best friend Daryl Watts kind of texted me as soon as she got drafted, like, "Oh, you're coming to Ottawa," like, no doubt. So it was a pretty easy choice for me, and you know, I wanted to go somewhere to build something new, and you know, Ottawa was the spot for me.
A lot of people are calling Ottawa kind of like the United Nations, the ambassadors, because you guys have so much international flair. Has that added to the team chemistry on the team? You guys kind of starting from scratch?
Yeah, you know, it's actually kind of awesome to learn from, you know, different countries and their different languages. Like, we've all been trying to learn Japan for Akane, so it's pretty cool to, you know, try and figure out how to, communicate with her. And even some of the other Europeans, they don't know English that well, so, we still have to use, some different words to get things across to them. But it's pretty cool to have the different countries.
So you're a kid from Brampton. Here you are, the Battle of Ontario today. What does that mean to you? And who's going to be in the stands watching you today?
It means a lot. You know, I've come a long way to get here, and all my family will be here in the stands. I'm sure you'll hear them. But it'll be amazing just to play in front of them and, you know, play in Toronto where I grew up and I've played my whole hockey career. So it'll be nice.
Enjoy that moment. But before you go, a lot of, even women's hockey fans may not have an idea of where your nickname Bucky comes from. Can you give us the kind of Coles Note version of that?
Yeah, this is a shout out to my twin brother. I had a Jofa helmet when I first started playing hockey, and he said I had a Bucky helmet from 4 years old. That's stuck. So not a great story, but it's a nice one.
It lasted forever. That's great. Thanks, Michaela.
Thank you.
Okay, so from Bucky, I had a chance to talk to Soup, of course, talking about Kristen Campbell, the goaltender for the Toronto PWHL team. Not going so hot for her today, but a great ambassador of the game. I had a chance to catch up with her earlier. 3 games under your belt, almost 4, about to get underway here. How is the team settling in your opinion?
Yeah, no, I think every game we're looking to make improvements, and I feel like just with now being our 4th game, we're really looking to play a full 60 minutes today and just get better every game, and we're really excited for the challenge today.
And how about you? As a goalie, it's got to feel pretty good to get a flow going, to get this groove going, especially with women's hockey. We haven't seen you guys get that successive gameplay. How does that feel, and how is it affecting your game?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's really exciting. Last year, having to wait weeks in between games, and now just waiting 48 hours between games, it's pretty incredible. And what the PWHL has been able to get going has just been, it's indescribable, how exciting it's been for all of us. And just, yeah, it's pretty surreal. It's still kind of sinking in, but we just are loving every minute of it.
Now, when you're standing between the pipes and you've got the 2 best defensemen in front of you in Renata Fast and Jocelyn Larocque, how does that make you feel? What kind of confidence does that give a goalkeeper?
Yeah, I know for sure they're incredible players, familiar with them from the national team. And yeah, we're definitely have some chemistry from knowing each other. But I think, yeah, it gives you that boost knowing that they have your back and that I'm going to have their back as well.
So I can't let you go without talking about equipment. You've got some great pads, some new pads, I understand, and your mask is unreal. Can you kind of give us like a description of those? We have some video to show our viewers here, but what goes behind some of those decisions?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the mask, I got Dave Fry from Calgary to create it for me. He also did my Olympic mask, so I was familiar with him. He's very good at kind of putting all your ideas right into work. And yeah, the mask is pretty personal, like on the back plate. I have a photo of myself when I was 9 years old wearing number 77 because Cassie Campbell is my idol growing up, and I thought it was pretty fitting because it's women like her that paved the way for us to play in a league like this. So that's on my back plate, and a little message from her underneath that she'd sent me via text once. So that's pretty cool. And I have just my nickname on the chin. One side has Maple Leaf Gardens on it, and actually we did like Starlight and the Breaking Dawn of women's hockey, like did kind of like a little moon to signal like the new era of women's hockey. So yeah, there's definitely some pretty special things on the mask, and to tie it all together, Bauer always does an incredible job with the gear. And I did the CN Tower subtly along the side because obviously right now we don't have logos or names, but I have a pretty Toronto theme going on. So I love the gear, and it turned out really great.
Yeah, you pretty much embraced that and embraced the homage to the players of old, which is fantastic. Thanks, Kristen, for your time.
No, thank you.
Of course, Kristen there. Want to bring back the rest of our team upstairs, Daniela Ponticelli.
It really just set the tone for how things were going, and it completed with the first 20 minutes in Ottawa with a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, special teams were so big in that period with the 2 power play goals, but then also Ottawa not allowing a shot when they were on the penalty kill. Pretty impressive stuff. But the 5-on-3, we'll start with that. Ottawa gets in, they get set up, they throw pucks to the net. One of the things I liked about this power play is the traffic they had in front. There was not just one player on the doorstep, but there were 2 banging away, hunting down pucks, finding loose pucks and putting it in the net. Katerina Mrazova on the back door on one, Gabby Hughes on the other one, and then they're able to get this 5-on-5 goal. Again, Daryl Watts is just an offensive threat every time she gets a puck. That's a goal scorer's goal, low blocker side. Gotta love it.
Well, the first period stats are brought to you by Sport Check, and we'll be back. Puck drop on the second period. PWHL is brought to you by Canadian Tire, Canada's store and proud founding partner of the PWHL. Welcome back for the second period. Ottawa with a 3-0 lead in this first Battle of Ontario with Toronto, and we head bench side with our Signa Butler.
Troy, we talked to you yesterday. You were talking about how you wanted your team to string together 3 periods of hockey. Obviously, let's forget about the first 20 here. What do you do for the next 40? What was your message to your club?
I think a couple things. We're a little bit too low on our breakouts, but we're also giving up our F3 high, so giving too many odd men rushes against, and we just got to be better in all aspects of the game for sure.
Appreciate it.
Awesome, thanks.
And a change in net for Toronto as Erica Howe steps into net for the first time. She's got a great resume as well.
Yeah, Clarkson University grad, PWHPA last season. A goalie that they've got a lot of faith and confidence in.
We'll discuss that further as things get going, but Toronto immediately finding themselves in their own zone. So on home ice right now, as it stands, through a total of 4 periods, if you're including the home opener, they have allowed 7 unanswered goals. So Toronto really needing to change pace. Now the second period in that home opener is a period of hockey that, but Scamora tests early here for Ottawa. She's just gonna fly down, take the shot. The shot's on goal. A little lopsided in that first period, about 10-5. 11 now with that chance from Scamora.
Well, if there's one player that's going to help to dig this team out of this hole, it's Renata Fast. And watch this physical play. She goes in against Boyd and she throws the shoulder, gains separation so that she can win that puck. We talk a lot about her as an offensive threat, how she skates, but she is a gritty player. She's tough to play against, and we know that a lot of players in this league have said they don't like playing against her and LaRock.
Including Emily Clark on Ottawa's team.
And really, one of the biggest compliments that you can give a defenseman is that they're hard to play against. You don't like to play against them. And so when players are saying that about Fast and LaRock, you know exactly what you have as a coach. And we know Troy Ryan has a lot of faith in that pair.
Defensive zone face-off. Captain Turnbull will take it for Toronto, wins that one clean. She's taken, not surprisingly, some of the bulk of the face-offs for Toronto. Sarah Nurse weaves through, tries to, back to Fast. And now Michaela Grant-Mentes, a little back pass, gets taken away by Nurse. Toronto can't gather that momentum here. Nurse again stays on it. Toronto in the offensive zone, a chance. Allie Monroe loses it off her stick. LaRock with a big shot out to Samantha Kogan. Digging in, far wall. And it'll be Natalie Spooner. She takes it out. She's got Molte set up. And it could have been something. Monroe. And they score! Natalie Spooner gets the first franchise goal. Now the first one on home ice for Toronto.
Well, Natalie Spooner is a big game player, and she's one, again, that can help turn this around. What an inside-out move as she crosses the line. And there's her net front presence that Troy Ryan wanted. You got Emma Malte driving the net. That is what she is so good at. And the Spooner recovers his puck below the goal line, turns to wrap it around, and banks it off of the skate of Emmerich Mashmeyer. But it's the little things that created that goal, and I love the Emma Malte net drive. You know that she's going to get into those tough areas.
Natalie Spooner gets it down. The crowd loves it. They've been waiting just for her to score, let alone score that first goal for Toronto. So Toronto now on the board. Daryl Watts comes dialing. She's already got a goal. She tries to feed it to Akani Shiga. Body sliding in the slot. Now Watts again stopped by Erica Howe. Some good early action here for the change in net.
on a little bit of emotion as well, and I'm sure both coaches like to see that their teams are getting emotional. It's a 3-1 game. But how about Natalie Spooner on the back check to take away an opportunity? This is a great pass by Daryl Watson. There's Spooner coming back through the middle of the ice to pick up any garbage in front and take her man out of the play. So she's doing it at both ends of the ice.
Jesse Comfer on that draw for Toronto, but Ottawa will take it away. Fanny Gasparich able to shoot, but Erica Howe absolutely dialed in here.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is her first game. Big crowd. She's soaking up all the excitement inside this building, and a couple good saves.
Crowd is absolutely electric here in the second period. Of course, finally getting that home goal to cheer for. Ottawa coming out strong, and a good Ottawa fan base here in Toronto is to be expected. Battle of Ontario as it is. A homecoming of sorts for a number of those players, including Daryl Watts. Now Maud Poulin-Lebel tries to tip it out, gets it to Comfer, but Snodgrass, sneaky, keeps it away, passes it over to Harmon, rims it around. Ashton Bell comes flying off the bench. Toronto still in their own zone. They just got on the board, narrowing that gap created by Ottawa. And there's a shot again, that one. Big chance. Erica Howe makes the quick saves. The body's in front of the net. She's able to read both of those. Captain Brianne Jenner feeds it to Bell. Bell's got support on the line from Boyd up high, off the glass. Maggie Connors looks to meet the puck. A high stick will slow things down.
Brianne Jenner knocks out one down with a high stick. But take a look at all of the local players on this Ottawa roster. There's obviously a lot on the Toronto roster, but hey, Toronto is the hockey hotbed, isn't that what they say?
It's great to see a chance to come and play close to home. Right now, Ottawa has the lead.
And not that Ottawa's that far. I would imagine family and friends are able to get to a lot of Ottawa home games, but it must be nice when it's just down the road for them.
Renata Fast cuts in, dumps it down with intention. As Ottawa's Clark now looks to feed it to Hughes. Hughes with the goal already in this game, her first in the PWHL. Claire Turnbull, hard pass down. So Ottawa will send it back. Now Jinsey Rose tees it up. All kinds of movement as Erica Howe is in net. Now Hughes shoots, barely as Turnbull able to take over.
Love the patience on Jinsey Rose to walk that line and keep going until she finds what she wants.
And there's a big turnover, Daryl Watts. It'll be offside. There was momentum building, the crowd riding that moment, but Daryl Watts will take it this time. Feeds it to Shiga. Shiga with speed, shoots. And a big save by Erica Howe. Again, an opportunity for Erica Howe coming in here to start the second period.
Connie Shiga with her first really solid scoring chance of the game, and she shows off the burst of speed that she has. Turnover through the neutral zone, just a nice little pass. Daryl Watson, then Shiga just moves her feet, looking to go high blocker. Erica Howe makes that save.
Erica Howe was a camp invite for PWHL Toronto. Played in the PWHPA, the CWHL, NCAA with Clarkson University. And now in her first chance between the pipes for Toronto. Daryl Watts again with a big shot. Kick saved by Howe to keep it in play. These feeds through to Akani Shiga. Didn't connect that time. Harmon tips it up. Watts still out there now, circling around that net. Ottawa can maintain the pressure, and it'll be Toronto instead. Laurent battling for it.
Let it go, let it go.
Akani Shiga in the mix too. Savannah Harmon weaves by Nurse, now along the blue line. Daryl Watts again. Ottawa's pressure mounting here is Lexia Gia. She's got 2 assists on the season, passes it off to Bell. Bell all the way around the net, shot by Boyd. Far side. Ottawa again. Gia this time up high. room to breathe for Toronto as they chase it down. Not fast enough. Here comes Snodgrass. She'll shoot, and she scores! Natalie Snodgrass, first goal, first game. She adds to Ottawa's tally.
A second period is a hard change, and Toronto tries to get a full change, and they give up this opportunity, and Snodgrass jumps on it. You can see 5 blue jerseys skating to the bench all at once. They leave this open. They're coming back through the middle, but they just don't get there in time to negate this. And Natalie Snodgrass finds the 5-hole. What a great pass up from Emirates Mashmeyer. That's a great heads-up play from your goaltender.
Natalie Snodgrass, one of the top rookies in the PHF last season, played for the Minnesota Whitecaps. She's from Eagan, Minnesota. She brings that north-south game with power forward traits. At least she did that for the Whitecaps, and it's a big moment for Natalie Snodgrass.
University of Connecticut grad, and they really seem to be growing their program. UConn, lots of good up-and-coming players going there as well, choosing that route.
So Toronto timeout. No, we don't have a mic in the mix there, Becky, but what do you think? What do you think Troy Ryan is trying to impart right now on this team?
Well, I'm guessing he's trying to settle them down, build them back up. There's still a lot of time. It's a 4-1 game. There's still time in this game when you're midway through the second period, but it's mistakes like that that he's going to want to get out of their game. He talked about the consistency. You can't have 5 players changing all at once, especially in the second period.
Well, scoring chances so far this period, 2 for Toronto, 7 for Ottawa. We're seeing that reflected in the overall shots on goal as well. Ottawa leading 18-7. So first goal against Erica Howe. She just stepped in between the pipes for this second period. But Toronto able to score a big goal by Natalie Spooner. It'll be Emma Malte taking this face-off. Unless the officials have another word to say, yeah, they'll switch her out.
Well, Brianne Jenner wasn't too happy with what Malte was doing, but I don't mind trying to cheat a little off the face-off.
She brings that energy. Now Becca Gilmore coming in with speed for Ottawa, back behind the net of Howe. Brianne Jenner taking a bump. Lauriane Rougeau in the mix in blue. She's got help from Malte. Rougeau looking for a big feed out to Spooner. And Ottawa will settle it back again. Haley Scamora in the mix. Emma Malte for Toronto. Trying to find teammates. She gets that support from Kogan, and the physical play continues. As Terlova down in the near corner this time. Brianne Jenner finds it along the near wall. She's got room and she's got help. Jenner shoots. That's off the body of Turnbull that time. Shot blocked by Toronto. Now back behind Ali Monroe. She's just got to keep it away from Michaela Grant-Mentis in on her stick now. She's got Gabby Hughes out there too. Grant-Mentis with the almost goal in that home opener. Goal that wasn't, and so she's still looking for her first.
Brianne Jenner bringing a lot of energy to this team as well, and she's able to find the middle of the ice. You talk about generating scoring chances and you want to find the middle of the ice. She cuts across the blue line and she's able to find this despite the fact that she is on her onside. She cuts to the middle. It's Jinsey Rose though that pulls both those defenders back. That's so important. She cuts through the middle of those defense to give Jenner that space in the middle of the ice.
Toronto able to win their defensive zone draw, bring the puck over to the Ottawa side, but not down deep enough. Now another big chance. Hughes tees up Clark, and that's a big play by Monroe into the glove of Howe. And despite a big chance from Ottawa there, we'll head to break with a 4-1 lead in Toronto. Akani Shiga lays it down, Renata Fast. Ashton Bell for Ottawa. They'll just keep sending it right back. Back and forth in the neutral zone again. Ottawa with the most chances, 18-7 in terms of shots on goal in this game, reflected in the score 4-1.
Well, I think Ottawa playing a simple game too. You watch them as they break out. It's a nice quick little passes, quick support.
Back behind the net of Emmerance Mashmeyer. Again, has faced 7 shots on goal. And now Confer wants to add to it. Getting caught up. Brazova with the centering feed. That ends up on Renata Fast stick. She's looking for Confer again all over the ice. Larock, loose puck. Big chance from Brazova. Fast beats her to it. Gets the position in front of the net though. How? Looking to cover it up. Does. The puck is frozen and the fists come out.
Lots of Gia getting in there, stirring things up. And, you know, again, you can see the frustrations coming out on Toronto. Things have not been going their way today. Gave up another scoring chance. Very fortunate to get away with this one. It's a good back check by Renata Fast. Of course, she's got the speed to get back into the play.
Again, Lexia Gia just swarming, and that's where too close for comfort.
And then the negotiations begin in front of the net. Nobody is backing down, punches thrown. You know, we've seen rough play, we've seen a lot of emotions, but this game I think has taken a different direction.
And it will cost Ottawa as Lexia Gia is in the penalty box. It gives Toronto a chance here on the power play, and they're looking to cut this deficit in half if they can do it. They've been able to score on the power play before. Actually kicked everything off with Natalie Spooner in that game in New York.
And interesting that they took only 1 player out of that scrum, but that might be the message the referees are sending as well.
So Toronto now. They were unable to get any shots at the last time. There's 1, there's 2, testing Emmerance Mashmeyer. So yeah, unable to get any shots off in their first power play in the first period.
Well, you can see it looks like they're trying to keep things a little more simple. They get that shot right away, and that one's a little bit bobbly. It's a tough save for Mashmeyer to make.
So you've got Turnbull in the face-off circle, sends it back to Fast. Nurse out on the line too, along with Larock and Spooner. Right in front, Spooner's there, covered up by Mashmeyer. Not losing that puck.
No, and again, that's that meat and potatoes power play that I talked about. They've had success with. Just get the puck, get it to a shooting position, put it on net. You see Spooner in front, and she's such a presence there. And that's a part of her game that Coach Troy Ryan has said has really grown. Her hand-eye coordination, tipping, making sure she's in that space. And so she's going there and having success.
The same group stays out on the ice. Fast to Larock, shot up high. That one chipped up off the glass this time. Nurse finds it near wall. Kept in by Fast to Larock. They'll just send it around the outside. Nurse again. Gonna work some space, brings it to Larock. Closer this time, Spooner's right there. And trying to protect, stop any shorthanded chances, but the puck does get sent down and some line changes.
I think the message has been sent and received. You saw Larock at a bad angle, still throwing pucks to the net, just throwing them on net to see what they can create, and it has been dangerous.
Toronto now. Still on the power play. Callie Flanagan will lead this one. Send it over to Comfer. Down deep is Brittany Howard for Toronto. Looking to chip away at this lead Ottawa established really in the first period. Added to it here in the second. But Zoe Boyd carries it away for Ottawa.
Ashton Bell with a really good decision as to when to pressure, when to contain. She goes at that puck, creates separation. Ottawa gets the puck down the ice.
Callie Flanagan will just carry it herself all the way through. Shoots as well right into the glove of Mashmeyer. Goes end to end.
Well, another shot from outside. This time they don't have anyone in front. course, that's Callie Flanagan taking that shot. But been a much better power play for this team. You can see Flanagan come in. She's wide, just throwing it out front to see what she can create. Unfortunately, no blue jerseys have got to the net that time, but they've been very good at it, this power play.
Alexa Vasco wins that draw. There's a shot again. They'll shoot it long, but Mashmeyer containing it, freezing it.
Well, and that's key. She's able to get out to the top of the crease. She's finding all those rebounds right now and smothering them. She knows it's going to be dangerous if she lets one go.
14 seconds left on this second Toronto power play. Vasco feeds it back to Fast. There's Rebecca Leslie also on the ice. Now a chase for it. Fast looks to take it away. Toronto hoping to create something, but Lexia Gia back out on the ice. So 5 scoring chances for Toronto on that power play opportunity. Trying to draw off what they were able to do in those last 2 minutes, but Lexia Gia right in front now. Another shot. How Tessa Kasparaj, and it's stopped. And again, the tensions growing here in this Battle of Ontario. Ottawa still with a 4-1 lead in the second period.
National women's hockey, but how about their unofficial mascot, Team Dog Lando, the retriever? Not after the Star Wars character Lando Calrissian or Lansdowne Park, where TD Place is. It's after F1 driver Lando Norris. And Lando, we got some intel. A very good boy. Loves getting pets, making people smile, and alternate captain Emily Clark hopes the team will sign him to a multi-year contract.
Everyone loves Lando, but Ottawa is all dialed in here on the ice. Yeah, Lando helping make some headlines for PWHL Ottawa. But here's a big chance as Nurse. She's got support right in front. It's stopped by Mashmeyer. Turnbull able to speed check just in front.
Well, that's a 3-on-2 opportunity for Toronto coming through the neutral zone with speed. And Spooner puts this puck to the net. You see Blair Turnbull coming in hard. She's going to make her presence felt. That's a nice little backhand pass out into the neutral zone. And then Nurse in with this puck. And she's just looking to feed it in front to see what she can create. Turnbull driving the net as well. That's 2 net drives. So again, that presence, that identity that this team is looking to foster.
Nurse wins the offensive zone draw for Toronto, and Turnbull with some touches on it. Now Hannah Miller and Rougeau for Toronto as well, back behind the net of Mashmeyer. Mashmeyer coming out of the first period having faced 7 shots on goal. Toronto hoping to create some more chances, but Gilmore in the race now with Rougeau. Brianne Jenner, loose puck. Toronto clears it out of their zone. Boyd to Bell. These two have been dialed in weaving around. That could have been something, a little nifty turnover for Nurse. Can't quite. Becca Gilmore chips it down far side this time.
Asher Bell does a good job to stay with that puck. That was potentially a dangerous turnover in the neutral zone.
And Nurse sends it back again. It feeds up to Gabby Hughes. Spooner will scoop it up. Can't carry it all the way, but she's got support. Kogan down there as well on the line. Monroe over the blue line this time. Zoe Boyd will pass it back. Emma Malte looks for all kinds of room. She's got help. Instead, Ottawa with the traffic in front nearly. The clean feed to Mentes in front again. Spooner. She's everywhere you need her.
Well, she is everywhere right now. The forecheck, back check, she's getting to the net and getting opportunities. This team needs something to go their way. 4-1 midway through the second. That's a nice feed in. Spooner driving the net to see if she can make something happen on her backhand.
Canadian Tire is a proud founding partner of the PWHL. Canadian Tire, Canada's store, here to make life in Canada better. Toronto again teeing up these offensive zone draws that were hard to come by in the first period. And a chance. Brittany Howard, she was teed up in the spot, but instead, Akani Shiga with speed and precision that time. And another chance. Maggie Connors to Howard, shoots! There's a beauty of a shot, but Mashmeyer with a clean save again. Toronto will swarm. Connors fires down. And now Ottawa takes it all the way back. Daryl Watts, she's already scored in this game. Puck bounced loose that time. Centering feeds, now Harmon. Looks to take it away. Watts again for Ottawa. Harmon. Feed to Lexia Gia, and that one just wide. Lexia Gia with an assist in this game, 2 on the season so far. Bonnie Gasparich has room, she shoots! And that rebound not sent back that time. Snodgrass right there, and again Snodgrass up. Agia in front of the net, bodies. Lynn LaBelle was also right there for Toronto. Agia again will try to set this up. Gasparish, high slot, shot off the body that time. Alexia Agia again, this time she'll try it near side. Brings it up, top of the circle, Bell. Weaves by, she's got some space in it. Another chance, Gamora's right there, Gasparish. Looking to feed it through, does. Nifty pass to Boyd. And there's some movement as Maggie Connors tries to get her stick on it.
That's 2 great shifts by the 3rd and 4th line of Ottawa.
And now Gilmore just not enough mustard on that pass, and so here we go. Leslie's got some room for Ottawa. Toronto, rather. Ottawa was dialed in, though. Able to see it through Flanagan. Sharp angle, was hoping to reach a teammate. Gilmore feeds it back to Scamora. Captain Jenner. She'll circle around. Ottawa finding themselves with some room on the ice, but Toronto sends it up to Vasco.
Rebecca Leslie just trying to sneak in behind. Unfortunately, she couldn't hold the blue line to get that offensive opportunity.
So as we start winding down the second period, still 4-1 lead for Ottawa in Toronto.
take a look at this scoring opportunity. And this is, again, the third and fourth line for Ottawa. And one of the things that Coach Carla McLeod said is that the top players in this league are going to cancel each other out. It's going to be your third, your fourth line. And they have been great here so far today.
Ottawa with plenty of scoring chances here in the second period. Able to add to their tally, one against Toronto's netminder, Erica Howe, who stepped in the second frame. Now, Turnbull with a shot. Wound up, waiting for it. Turnbull again in front. Just off the stick that time, and the crowd riding that wave along with Turnbull. Turnbull yet to score in the PWHL.
Turnbull just waiting in the weeds. See if she can create something. She sneaks in behind the Ottawa defenders.
And Molte will pick up a missed pass there from Jinsey Rose. Toronto back in the offensive zone. Can't maintain the pressure, so races on. Ali Monroe will collect it for Toronto. Back behind the net of Erica Howe. And that pass will sail all the way through for an icing.
Well, Ottawa definitely with the bulk of the scoring chances, but Toronto's been able to generate a couple. Blair Turnbull, again, just waiting in the weeds, staying down low as Ottawa starts to break this puck out. She just hangs out down there. That puck comes back down to her. She walks out, just can't quite corral it as she walks to the net. And then Emma Molte with some really nice patience holds on to that puck, finds that pass. Unfortunately, they're not able to corral it and get the shot off, but I love the patience.
Connie Shiga for Ottawa in the far corner. Monroe once again. Up to Cogan this time for Toronto. Looks for that feed to Spooner. Spooner will beat Bullier to it. Far side. Toronto with a chance here. Spooner comes in, shoots off the body of Bullier. And Ottawa using that physical play. Spooner, though, keeps it in check for Toronto. Molte up. Cogan batting at it. Molte into the glove of Mashmeyer.
Well, this Connors, Malte, Spooner line has been dangerous in the last few shifts for this team, and they're just hounding pucks. Natalie Spooner with tons of touches right now. That's Emma Malte down low, and then she gets that shot as well. She's been dangerous.
Emma Malte waiting. She has already got a goal in the PWHL. In fact, the first ever shorthanded goal scored by Emma Malte.
Player that's looking to grow her game here as well, bring more offense.
Oh, Connors nearly feeds it to Howard. Howard will take it away now. Far corner. Toronto with the pressure here as things wind down in the second period. Ottawa just as quickly. There's a turnover. Comfer sails it towards the net. Boyd picks it up for Ottawa. Back below the goal line this time. Over to Bell. Nearly intercepted by Howard again. Turnbull stops the momentum. Connors fires it back. Mashmeyer plays it quick off the stick. Hopes to rim it around, and Lexia Gia collects it on the blue line. Toronto. Continued pressure here right in front of the net again. Skirts by Callie Flanagan this time. She'll drive it. Looks for that chance from Turnbull.
Or if you're Ottawa, this period can't end soon enough. You've had a great period, but Toronto's really turned the tides over the last few shifts. Getting lots of scoring opportunities in zone play.
And in that home opener, in fact, that's one of the periods that Toronto head coach Troy Ryan points to as one of their best, was their second period effort. Turnbull to Monroe. Nurse hopes to feed it in, and again another shot. Puck is loose and back on the stick. Ottawa's Gilmore this time. Scamora trying to use the boards to get it over to Brenner. Instead, Monroe back for Toronto. Here's a chance, Samantha Kogan just gets shrugged off by Aneta Terlova. Final seconds here in the second period. It's a big shot from Larocque. Catches in front. Renata fast. Sends it back. Larocque, big shot. That one. Brandon Jenner will get in the way. Toronto with so many chances to wind it down for the second period. And they will head to the locker room still with an Ottawa lead, 1-0.
Well, what a turn of events in the end of this period for Toronto. This is what Troy Ryan wants to see. This is a team that he believes he has. They took over the play, generated a whole bunch of scoring chances, and we saw passing that we have not yet seen from them. That's what he's going to want to see from his team going into the third period.
And still another whole period left here in this Battle of Ontario. Things starting to heat up for Toronto, but still trailing Ottawa 4-1 through 2. It's the second intermission, and our Signer Butler is down with Jocelyn Larocque.
Well, Jocelyn, the energy at the end of that second period, I know the score may not reflect it, but you've got to feel good about that going in the third.
Yeah, definitely the last kind of 7-8 minutes. We, got some momentum. We were doing a lot of good things. So I think it's focusing on that, getting pucks in and getting in those dirty areas. Like, Mashmeyer's not going to make it easy to score, so we got to fight to get those rebounds and really battle hard.
I know Troy Ryan was saying yesterday that he and the leadership group, including yourself, you have open dialogue about in terms of what you want for this culture and this chemistry of this team. In your assessment, where are you at right now, just 4 games in the season?
I would say our culture is fantastic. The camaraderie, everyone gets along really well. It's early in the season, so there's a lot of things to tweak and to work on, but we're having a lot of fun. The group gets along great, and we really focus on creating good relationships, having fun, and working hard. So it's been great. Obviously, the score isn't reflective of that, but, adversity isn't bad, especially at the start of the season. So, having to battle through adversity, makes you stronger. So I'm looking forward to the third and, having our backs maybe a little bit against the wall, but there's still a lot of hockey to be played.
Best of luck. 20 minutes left.
20 minutes left. Thank you.
Well, second game in Toronto for Toronto, but Montreal, last team to have their home opener, and that goes today. They'll be hosting Boston. Let's hear from some of the team on that. It will be a big day for Montreal fans, but right now Toronto trailing as we head into the second intermission, 4-1.
Welcome back to the Mattamy Athletic Center, where Ottawa has a 4-1 edge over Toronto in this 8th PWHL game of the season. More hockey for you, women's hockey for you, happening earlier today. It was the semifinals of the Under-18 World Championships in Switzerland. Canada taking on Czechia. And for more on that, here's Kenzie Lalonde and Cheryl Pounder.
It was a historic day in Zug, Switzerland. For the first time ever, Czechia will play for gold at the U18 Women's World Hockey Championship. And it was a nail-biter through and through against Team Canada, the tournament favorites. But they found a way. Their top line came out to play, and also goaltending was outstanding. But let's give it to Slavičková. This is her third U18s. The Czech forward got her first goal ever, and it was a game winner.
A pretty good one to get at that. Someone get her the puck, because it punches their ticket to the gold medal game. Just an outstanding performance all the way around. And I thought that this was a great goal, but it all starts off of the rush. Eureka is outnumbered, so she says, I'm just going to put this puck to the net, and it's a bit of a miscue there, and it jumps onto Slavičkova's stick. She catches Clark going one way and puts it up the other side. A beautiful shot to find that lane to put it away. But Kenzie, you talked about that top line as well, and two of those players, Plazova as well as Adela Shapovalov-Vova, have a bronze medal, and the most recent one from Brampton at the World Championships under Carla McLeod. And that experience of winning was certainly felt today. They brought that leadership to this game.
And they brought the hugs to goaltender Aneta Shankova, who was a difference maker for this team today. She saw 47 shots And you have to think, if she didn't come up the way she did today, the result might have been different.
Oh, it would have been different. I mean, she faced 47 shots, as you mentioned, made 45 saves, and it started right off the hop. Canada came out guns a-blazing, and she made saves. She got to the top of her crease, and guess what? Her defenders, they took care of the backdoor presence. They made sure they got their sticks. They boxed out, and she did a great job also of finding pucks quickly and jumping on them for face-offs. And I thought that she was extremely effective in this game, but most importantly, you could see the smile on her face. I mean, she was absolutely exhausted. She gave her team an opportunity to win. They were opportunistic, and now they're playing in their first gold.
And speaking with the general manager of Team Czechia, Teresa Sadalova, saying today, this is bigger than everyone. This is showing that the gap is closing on the international stage. And so Czechia will play for gold, and Team Canada will play for bronze.
Certainly some excellent hockey over there in Switzerland and some future stars, perhaps, for the PWHL. Let's send it back to Daniela and Becky.
Yeah, Signa, it is hard to really fathom just how important that U18 competition is when you consider that between Ottawa and Toronto, the two teams playing in today's game, 30 players have competed at that U18 world level.
Well, I think it's a huge opportunity for development around the world for these teams, and not the outcome we wanted today, but good for women's hockey.
So this is who's represented. 20 Canadians on the rosters for Ottawa and Toronto, then 6 U.S. players, 2 from Czechia, including Mrazrova, who played in the very first U18 in 2008. Obviously, Akani Shiga for Japan and Fani Gasparic for Hungary. And so well represented here. So it is possible that we could see some of the stars from this year in the PWHL mix, and of course some really great performances so far, not only by the Canadians but some others as well in that tournament.
Well, that's just it. I think you look to that tournament, you figure it's the Canadian team, the U.S. team, those are your future players for the PWHL, and after today's outcome, I would say maybe not. There's a lot of Czech players here in this league. I think there's going to be some more.
You got to give it to Canada's Chloe Primerano. She came in with a lot of hype and she delivered as well in terms of defensive play, but also the offensive play for her. She is the first defender to score a hat trick in that tournament, and that just goes to show how the game has developed, Becky.
Oh yeah, just so much skill that these young players have, and we saw that on display at that U18 tournament.
Well, now back to this game. We're in the second intermission, but we'll take a quick peek at how things worked out in the first period. These stats brought to you by Sport Check. And Katarina Mrazrova talking about Czech power, right? She comes out strong, gets her second of the season to open scoring.
Well, Toronto finally getting on the board, and they had some glimpses of offensive prowess. Natalie Spooner, who had a great period. Emma Malte driving the net. It's Spooner that picks this one up again behind the net and is able to convert that into Toronto's first goal. First goal at home. But Ottawa, not to be denied, and they came down the ice and had all sorts of scoring opportunities. This one just sneaks by Erica Howe as she gets into the game. Love the fact that they get a fourth-line goal out of this Ottawa team. So we've now seen the second line, the third line, and the fourth line getting on the board.
Well, the second period stats brought to you by Ream Canada, and there you have it. So Emma Malte with that assist. She's been busy as well on the ice, and you've noticed.
Oh, Emma Malte has been fantastic. And hey, this is a kid that went to the provincial championships in high school in the 100 meter. She is fast. She's fast on the ice. She's fast off the ice. And you can see her speed and tenacity. And they're going to rely on her to drive the net.
Well, the fans are getting set for the third period here at Mattamy. We'll be right back. far in this game. Looking to build up on what they started in that second period. More scoring chances than they saw in the first.
Yeah, definitely Toronto want to build on what they did at the end of the period. They got their work cut out for them. They need 3 goals here. But if they push like they did at the end of the second period, it certainly is possible.
Ottawa hoping to connect. Haley Scamora has room. She shoots, and Erica Howe closes in. The official online shop of the PWHL is now open. Gear up for game day with jerseys and apparel for your favorite team. Visit shop.thewhl.com to complete your game day fit. She's game day ready.
She is game day ready. Love those toques. We've seen a lot of them.
Those are special. Those are for season ticket holders.
I know a lot of people wanted to buy one.
I wanted to buy one. I wanted to buy one. All right, back to the game. Ottawa looks to get a shot off right from the draw. Or close to it as Jinsey Rose handles the point now, goes far side for Ottawa. A strong lead so far. And the most goals scored for Ottawa in a game.
Grant Mentis just trying to hold the line there, not able to do it. Jinsey Rose, she has been a force for this team and comes from a hockey family. Her brother, Josh, plays in the AHL for Cleveland, Columbus's affiliate. So you got to imagine there's some good road hockey games when you come from families like that. There's so many of these girls with hockey moms, dads, brothers, sisters.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's in the blood, as they say. Toronto can't keep it in the Ottawa zone this time. It'll be Harmon with some speed near side, getting caught up on the officials.
Grant Mentis does a great job to hold the line and stay on side to allow this to play out.
Renata Fast, she'll carry it. Keeps it away from Boulier. That's a tough go. As Toronto changes out, Comfort down there along with Renata Fast in blue. Boulier off the glass. Fast picks it up, kicks it back to Comfort.
Love the high hard off the glass. That was the play when I played Daniela. I think it was first one in my playbook. You don't see it often now, but sometimes it's still a good play.
Connie Shiga sends it over to Ashton Bell. Ashton Bell, our player to watch off the top of the show. It's been all over the ice for Ottawa. Came into this as the points leader with two assists in that home opener. Now back, Daryl Watts. Dangerous in her hometown, getting her first PWHL goal in this game. Zoe Boyd skims around, brushes off Brittany Howard. Slow to get up. Watts circles it back. Boyd and Bell. Ottawa trying to find some room, but Toronto with the pressure. Vasco teeing it up for Leslie. Willoughby out on the ice as well in blue.
Nice move behind the net. Willoughby to corral that puck in.
Rougeau slows it down, sends it around. Vasco tries to meet the puck, finds it. Leslie also in the mix. Vasco, no. Monroe in front. Mashmeyer locks it down.
Mashmeyer's got to make that save. That one's point blank. You can see the physicality of this game has not slowed down, and Boyd's got this puck. She's trying to protect it, and then just throws that hip into Brittany Howard. Of course, Toronto able to generate a chance, and again, this one is point blank. Mashmeyer's got to be strong. Fortunately for her, that one goes right into the breadbasket.
Ottawa leading on the scoreboard and in the number of hits, especially through the second period. 13-6 when it comes to big hits. They're playing physical. It's paying off on the scoreboard. Toronto's captain Turnbull looks for Flanagan. Keeps it in play, and Natalie Spooner, she was hoping to dish it out. Now a bit of a race as Flanagan is there. Some big chances in front. That does not get off, and Miller regains control for Toronto. Big pass to Monroe. Stretches a little too far. Monroe back behind the net of Mashmeyer. Finds it again, far side. Bringing the play below that goal line. Toronto trying to work those angles. Scamora feeds to Harman for Ottawa. That was a little poke check by Scamora. Gets it to Hughes. And a loose puck. Emma Malte takes it away, tries to. Michaela Grant-Mentis right on her.
Grant-Mentis with a great back check. She's done a lot of good work at both ends of the ice. Ottawa able to generate another 2-on-1. Watch Flanagan just time this as she slides and takes this pass away. That is a great defensive play. Toronto able to turn and go back up ice on that defensive play.
Yeah, Callie Flanagan, just one of the 2 American players on the Toronto roster.
It's a very Canadian roster, a lot of Ontario players.
And this Battle of Ontario is going Ottawa's way right now. 4-1 lead as they enter the 3rd period. And Larocque will chip it up and down.
Grant-Mentis just trying to get in behind Larocque there. If that puck had gotten by, she was off to the races.
Confer right in front. That gets the crowd back on their toes. Jesse Confer trying to work it. Now Howard batting at it. Rougeau. Toronto teed up in the offensive zone. Confer sends it back to Leslie. And out on the ice now, Poulin, Lebel, and Vasco. Grant-Mentis circles to keep it away. Toronto closing in, trying to back in the neutral zone.
Ottawa's on the ropes right now, but they need a change. They've got a set of defensemen that have been on the ice for a long time.
Caitlin Willoughby creating some speed. Poulin Lebel playing it off for Toronto. Up to Leslie. And there's some space for Vasco. And a big collision. They'll play on, and Monroe shoots, tries to. Ottawa takes it away that time. Watts gets caught up for the blue line. Shiga, little tap in, little putt. Puts it back behind. Watts has room. Tees it up for Snodgrass. Both of them have scored goals in this game for Ottawa. Willoughby, the pass to Turnbull up. Toronto with a strong start here in the 3rd period. Trying to put that pressure on Emmerance Mashmeyer, who's made 20 saves so far. And again, teeing it up, Turnbull this time, right in front, Nurse. Look to capitalize on the rebound. Both of them stopped short of even getting close to the crease. Larocque.
Toronto definitely has tilted the ice so far this period, getting the bulk of the offensive zone play and starting to get some of the chances as well.
Hannah Miller with her stick on it. Now Malte. Scamora trying to get a chance at it for Ottawa. Back behind. Scamora's right there. Now Spooner. She swoops in, takes it far, brings it near side. Scamora looking for that feed to Gilmore. Poulin Lebel sends it all the way down deep into the Ottawa zone.
Well, this has got to be some of the frustration on the part of Toronto. You see what they can be, and you've seen it at the end of the 2nd here in the 3rd. How about Blair Turnbull? That's a nice cutback, some good edge work, and gets herself right into the middle of the ice. Again, for those scoring chances, that's the area of the ice you have to defend. Ottawa does a good job to block this shot. But that ability to cut back, get inside, that's how Toronto's going to find some success.
They find themselves on a defensive zone draw as Gabby Hughes will take this for Ottawa. It is a Toronto face-off win that time. It's Poulin Lebel looks to free it and send it up. Grant-Mentis keeps it in play. Pressure in the Toronto zone. Not quite, as they're able to extend it, tries to find Spooner down deep. That's who's closing in. Maggie Connors as well, out in blue, but now a chance for Ottawa to put on some speed. Hughes shoots and Howe shrugs it off. A big save there for the Toronto netminder. Big shot by Terlova off the body, that time of Spooner. Talk about being where you need to.
Well, we talked about Spooner doing everything. Now she's got a block shot as well.
And she's carrying it herself. Daryl Watts, though, able to dislodge that puck off her stick. Comfer keeps it in. Gets a shot off towards the net. Comfer's still net front.
That was a nifty shot. Looks like maybe she saw the back of Maschmeyer and was trying to bank it in off of her.
Daryl Watts for Ottawa, bringing it back. And right in front of Connie Shiga, she shoots up high into the netting. Connie Shiga has been all over the ice. Ottawa maintains their 4-1 lead in the third period.
What's up, Leafs fans? Another awesome night here on TSI. Thank you to each and every one of you for hanging out with us. Please don't forget to hit that like button, as it helps bring more Leafs fans into the chat. The more the better. A big shout out to our insiders and VIP members. Your support is truly appreciated. I cannot explain to you what it means for this community. Please consider joining our community. It's only 99 cents a month. I made it as low as possible so that we can get more and more people joining our community. Awesome member exclusive emojis in the chat during these Leafs games, and add your name to the scroll down below. Anyways, enough of the necessary evils to keep growing this amazing Toronto sports community and Maple Leafs community. Back to Leafs hockey. Go Leafs go. I'll see you guys in the chat. Peace.
Using those, quote, days off to help improve Ottawa's face-off win percentage as a team. 25% in that home opener. Mrazova now takes it, looks for that feed to Shiga. Passing from Harmon and back again to Watts this time. Watts getting in, and Amanda Boulier chasing it down for Ottawa. The neutral zone. And one thing to note too, we've talked about how Emmerance Maschmeyer has been so steadfast for Ottawa as a goaltender. She also assisted on the Natalie Snodgrass goal, becoming the first PWHL goaltender to get that assist.
Pretty impressive, and very heads up for her to see that there was that opportunity to move the puck all the way up the ice. That's a real skill that we've seen these goalies come so far on. All these goalies quite comfortable coming out of their net, playing the puck, helping their defenders.
Right now, Ottawa pushing everything to the outside. Toronto having to use the boards. Turnbull can't keep her stick on it in the circle. Taken away, Savannah Harmon. She tees it up. Harmon, 5th overall draft pick. And that'll be an offside to slow down Natalie Snodgrass. Halfway through the third period, and Ottawa still with a 4-1 lead over Toronto. The PWHL is brought to you by Hyundai, made for those who drive hockey. Toronto's home fans still want to cheer for a home win, but they got the home goal thanks to Natalie Spooner, who was out on the ice. And Ottawa feeling really good about coming out here so far in their second ever PWHL game.
Well, Ottawa had a really good home opener. They lost that game in overtime, but I thought they carried the bulk of the play against Montreal. You could see the ability that this team has as they start to gel. That week of practice looks like it's helped them.
So the puck is loose and Ottawa will take over, chip it down.
Ottawa just playing a simple game now. You can see them clogging up the neutral zone. They've been good defensively, getting pucks in deep.
And now Jenner, that one, Emma Malte able to tap dance around it. And that gives Samantha Kogan some room. Sends it down to Spooner. And that one skims by Mashmeyer. The crowd saw it. Becca Gilmore. I guess Becky, that certainly they can play that way. They've got some confidence in what they've been able to do so far, Ottawa.
Yeah, and you get to this stage of the game, you've got a 3-goal lead. You want to be smart, have somebody over top of the puck, so you always got a third player high.
Emily Clark with some speed over to Harmon, and Graham is in front. They score! Ottawa adds another to their tally, and it's number 2 for Gabby Hughes.
Well, that's just a tic-tac-toe passing play. And just when you think maybe they're sitting back, just trying to defend this lead and kill the clock, they have this beautiful exit out of their zone. Emily Clark with that pass back to the trailer. Hughes over to Grant Mentis. That is 4 tic-tac-toe on the tape passes to the back door. Gabby Hughes is able to find the back of the net. That's a bit of a clinic on passing.
Absolutely. Grant Mentis able to just pass so smooth over to Hughes, who capitalizes.
She's been good, and you start to see why she was the MVP in the PHF last year, leading scorer. And it takes some of those players time to adjust to this pace of play. And we had that conversation with Coach Troy Ryan that you get players coming in from various leagues trying to figure out what this league is all about. And the pace of play is faster than most of them have seen before. The time and space closes down quicker, and you see players really adjusting quickly.
And we talked about the UA team success and how many players played in that level internationally and are now in this very game. Gabby Hughes being one of them, won gold with Team USA in 2017. Now along the blue line fast. She'll look to add to Toronto's total. Nothing beats watching your favorite team live, though. You get tickets to PWHL games and catch all of the action. Make sure you visit thepwhl.com/tickets to secure your seats today. It's hard to get one here, though.
Here in Toronto, it's pretty tough. You got to have a friend, I think.
Yeah, friend of a friend. Help you out. Renata Fast. Another sold-out crowd, of course, here at Mattamy. As expected, it's been sold out the entire regular season.
Emily Clark with a little extra shove to Renata Fast. 2 players that have played together, but they know that when they're in opposing jerseys, you got to go hard.
Zoe Boyd now looking to cycle it around. Sends it over to Bell this time. Back to Hughes. Hughes with 2 goals. It's her first in the PWHL.
Nice decision to slow things down through the neutral zone. Get that turn back, buy time, and dump it in. Get some player changes as well.
Sarah Noserva to Fast. She'll carry it. Tries to get it through the legs of Snodgrass. Not quite. Gasparic to Agia.
One thing we've seen from this Ottawa team, too, is that Coach McLeod's got a lot of faith in the depth of her team, so we have seen a lot of ice time gobbled up by the 3rd and the 4th line. It keeps the top 2 fresh.
Erica Howe will play that off her stick. So Erica Howe coming in to start the second period in net for Toronto.
Toronto. Erica Howe in net again. She's given up 2 here, but it's been a rough night for Toronto goaltenders, and some of the scoring chances they've given up have been pretty point blank. Again, an area you're going to see them look to tidy up, but it is good to know that they got a team who's got faith in both of their goaltenders.
Toronto now. And looking to win out this period. Of course, winning the game is top of mind for both teams.
I think early in the season, though, it's about growth. And so, again, it's the consistency that Toronto is looking for. If they can come out and have a strong third period, it's something that they can grow on going into their next game.
Something head coach Troy Ryan said they have not been able to put together a complete 60 minutes. They do have one win on the road against New York. And now Natalie Spooner. She's going to tee up Malte and then try to get net front. Malte with a shot off the body, though, that time. And Poulin LaBelle right into the glove of Mashmeyer.
2 players on the doorstep once again for Toronto, just looking to clean up any problems. No rebounds are there.
No rebounds, no tip-ins, and Toronto still trailing 5-1 against Ottawa. Laurent settles it back, sends it deep. Still in the Ottawa zone. Toronto trying to come together. And that one gets sent around the end boards in the Toronto zone as Scamora flies through.
I love that intentional play. You know you're icing the puck, but you figure your team can beat it out. You get the puck 200 feet down the ice.
Howard now with speed shoots that, or at least intends to get it around the boards. Chasing it down now to Bell. Monroe in on the blue line. Connors takes it away. Monroe again. Shots towards the net. The shots on goal slowly starting to even out. Ottawa still with an edge, 25-21. Now Vasco right in front. Rougeau tries to send it in. Ottawa plays on. Mashmeyer helped out there. skirts it around. Leslie shoots. That one nearly from out vantage point. A little deceptive deflection there.
That was a dangerous shot. She's just throwing that puck into traffic, and it hits all sorts of things.
Oh, but Leslie can't keep control. Gets some help there by Fast. Coming off the bench, Fast carries it in this time. She shoots. Mashmeyer sends it away. Near side. Miller out with Turnbull in blue. Back behind the net, Grant Mentis digging in. She just got an assist on that 5th goal of the game. 2nd for Gabby Hughes. Turnbull. Pressure is on. Into the corners. Time winding down. Turnbull fires her right into the body of Mashmeyer once again.
Well, Ottawa having trouble getting the puck out right now, but still doing a good job for the most part to clog things up. How about this hit from Akani Shiga? She's been the recipient of a few big hits today. She throws one of her own. Pretty small player. Doesn't weigh a whole lot either, but she can throw that weight around.
Well, Akani Shiga, another one of the tremendous U18 international talents, as Mashmeyer scoops that one up. And she played in 4 of those tournaments, Becky, 2 in the top division, because Japan, of course, straddled the line between being promoted and then sometimes being relegated.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive what some of these young players have done, especially the international players, because they come to their national teams at such a young age.
Yeah, 4 years with a U18 team. Yeah, you're putting in your time early on.
Not something that we see here anymore necessarily. I mean, Haley Wickenheiser made the senior national team at 15 at the time. You definitely wouldn't see that now, but you still sometimes see that young age at international with some of the international teams.
Blair Turnbull just making all kinds of room for herself. Sarah Nurse as well down deep. Hannah Miller getting caught up with the body of Snodgrass. Again, that's Snodgrass's first game for Ottawa. Was able to score and also be a presence out on the ice. She bowls over Fast. Toronto still with possession right now. Miller tries to get it to Larock. It's all kind of benefit, but Lexia Gia was teed up for a nice stretch pass.
She gets in behind everyone. Harmon throws a nice pass down the ice, and Gia just can't quite control it.
Now Mrazova getting bowled over there in the back, but Spooner takes it away. She's been all over this ice tonight. Spooner hoping for Kogan, but Akani Shiga, she'll bat it on over to Watts. Watts, she's got room on the outside. Soft touch that time.
Like that idea just to try to saucer it in behind the Toronto defenseman.
And Molte now to Kogan. They'll take the far side this time. Now, Ottawa's Mrazova just right in there, disrupting the play. Monroe to Flanagan.
Definitely the bulk of offense for Toronto this game has come through the Spooner line. They have been very good. Only a minute and a half left, though, so I can't imagine we're going to see a shortening of the bench with a 4-goal deficit.
And that one catches the post that time, but Jenner was primed. Coming up on Erica Howe. Ottawa just trying to work it back. That could have been something for Comfer. She was teed up in the slot for Toronto. Final minute here in the 3rd period. And Toronto will get some new players out on the ice and see what they can do to close this one out for the home crowd. Vasco tries to get it by, able to rim it around despite Ashton Bell being right there. Zoe Boyd in white. But it's Hughes with the physical play to get the puck loose. Teed up over to Boulier. Grant Mentis down deep as well. Chasing Renata Fast. Clark the feed, and that'll go this time to Toronto. Leslie chips it down. Final 16 seconds at Mattamy. Game 2 for Toronto. This first ever Battle of Ontario.
Well, Ottawa playing a really good 3rd period, a smart 3rd period. They know they don't need goals, so they're defended well.
They don't need any more. They've done enough. 5-1, a massive win. Their first in franchise history. PWHL Ottawa gets it done in Toronto. Celebrating around Emmerin Smashmeyer, who helped make it possible.
Well, Ottawa's got to be very happy with their performance here today. Absolutely mission accomplished. This is a team that feels they have depth. We saw that depth that was on display today. We saw all four lines, a lot of solid play defensively, and Emmerin Smashmeyer with a great game. If you're Toronto, it's back to the drawing board, still searching to find that consistent effort that you're looking for, that you feel that your team has. We saw flashes of it throughout the game, but they could not find a way to bring it consistently for 60 minutes.
And of course, there's the question as well of goaltending for Toronto. They made the switch up despite Kristen Campbell having the most starts of any PWHL goaltender. Still has that now. This is her fourth game, but it was Erica Howe that took over in the second period.
Yeah, that could be a question mark. I mean, sometimes when a coach pulls his goalie, it's not necessarily because of the play of the goalie. Sometimes it's just to shake things up with your team and see if you can get them to restart. But definitely there could be a question mark there as to who's going to get the start. Could be a 50-50 split going forward. That's yet to be determined. But I think the bigger concern is what's happening in front of their goaltenders right now.
So Toronto able to get that first ever home goal, courtesy of Natalie Spooner. And the crowd still cheering here at Mattamy. We'll be back with more post-game analysis after this. Well, Gabby Hughes makes it 2 for her PWHL scoring debut. A big second game, of course, for Ottawa, and second game for Gabby Hughes, helped by